Hey guys, welcome back to Adaz place. Yeah, so um in this video, normally I would have called this video how to apply for a German student visa, right? But I know that some of you already know some of these things. I just want to like spice it up a little bit. I'm going to title this how to get rejected from applying from your German student visa application. Basically, we're just going to talk about how not to get rejected when you apply for your German student visa. So if this is what you're looking forward to getting this video, then sit back and relax and enjoy. And please remember to get your paper and pen and jot things down, because it feels like you might already know this until the day and you find out that, oh, okay, Ada said this, but I don't know, somehow it escapes my mind. Jot things down. So the number one thing when you're applying for your German student visa, of course, you have to get a school, right? You have to be admitted in a school. Well, probably I didn't say it in my other videos. When you're applying to a school, please also look at the city where the school is situated, because when you're going to apply for your visa, they would check in that city. Like, they would have to send your application and your documents to the city, and then the city authorities there would decide whether or not they want you to come into their city. You have to do like some background check. What course generally would it be like when you apply? They would, pick you up immediately, that kind of a thing. Courses that are, or maybe professions that are in high demand per se. For instance, I know that professions in IT, software, engineering, those kind of things, they're really looking out for them, and also in business as well. So if you're applying to any of these, if you're applying for any of these courses, there's a high chance that, okay, it's going to work out for you. So when you send in your application, like when you go to the embassy with your application documents and you want to hand in these things, they would check. They wouldn't give you of course they wouldn't give you a yes or no answer, right? So they would send your application to the city. So say for instance you want to come to Berlin, because I'm currently based in Berlin, right? So you want to come to Berlin and you're applying for say a course like business. Personally, I applied for a course in business. So what they told me was that they would send my documents to the Berlin authorities, and if they find out that, okay, yeah, they need someone like me, and they know that in the future, things like that, blah blah blah, they'll now okay it, like they have to give their authorization, and that is the one step to getting your visa. So if you're applying for strange courses that might not necessarily be needed in the city, that is one first way of not getting your visa, to be quite honest. Yeah, that is one first way of not getting your visa. So you have to really check for courses. You have to go online. There's some courses that, or there are some fields, because of course if you're going to school, you're hoping to work with these things later, right? So there are some professions that foreigners might have, yeah, but still they would prefer to give it to German citizens, if you know what I mean. So when you're applying from the beginning, please check for your school, the course, because that would go a long way to determine whether or not you get the visa. Yeah, and then the second thing, of course, is when you're booking your appointment online, because of course you cannot just go to the embassy. It's not your father's house. You know what I mean? You have to book an appointment online. But normally the appointments, when you check, they're usually like maybe the month you're in is already booked out. So you have to like start checking on time. Even before you begin to gather all your documents, start checking on time to know when there would likely be an appointment day, so that you will not start aiming towards that time. But please be aware that you have to make sure you have all your documents complete before your appointment day, because you cannot go there with incomplete application documents, because it's obvious that you wouldn't get the visa, right? So once you decide to come to Germany, you've gotten your admission, you've started gathering some things small, what you will do is to check for a visa appointment date. If you check and then you find out that, okay, in the city where you are, there's a lot of appointments and all of that, then fine, you can forecast. I think that's the word. You can make a prediction. When would you think you get all your documents complete? And then around that time, you book an appointment. If you book an appointment today and your documents are not complete, then you can't go to the fact. Even if you go with an incomplete document, that's like a straight out, like you're not going to get the visa. So you have to make sure that your documents, everything is complete. I wouldn't say get everything first before you make an appointment, because then that would be too late depending on your travel time. So make sure you have everything halfway and you're sure that everything is going to come within that time. Because if you miss your appointment, I don't know what will happen if you miss the appointment. I guess you can reapply, but please try not to miss the appointment. Try not to miss the appointment. And when you go for your appointment, please come with all your necessary documents. And speaking of necessary documents, when your school sends you your enrollment letter, check it to be sure information that would really say that you're a student and you're going to be enrolled to so and so time is there. I mean, nobody is above mistakes, right? So the possibility that they will send you a wrong document is like really slim, but it's going to be good if you check, and not just checking to know what they're sending to you, checking to be able to answer the question, because when you go for the interview, they're going to ask you. They will ask you. So make sure you read these things and you understand what it is you're applying for. You're going to the school, yeah? You have to know when your semester is starting. You have to know what semester you're entering into. Is it the fall semester or the summer semester? You have to also know how long your program, how long it's going to last. You also have to know where your school is situated. All this little information you need to be aware. Please know all these things before you go there. It's very, very vital. As I've said before, please come with all the needed documents. Even if they are not on the website, right? Come with everything you know might be needed. For instance, when I applied from China, although I'm Nigerian, but I came from China. And knowing this, what I did before my application was that I checked the German website in Nigeria to know all the documents they will ask a Nigerian to bring. I also checked the website for China, all the documents they'll ask a Chinese person to bring. And I brought because I don't wanna hear story. So I brought the document from here and the document from here. The only document I didn't bring was this is a Chinese document, but they give you to only Chinese nationality. So if you're not Chinese, you wouldn't have a document, and that was the only thing I didn't bring. But every other thing, even letter from my school to show that I'm a student there and I'm not gallivanting in China without I brought a letter signed from my school. I also brought my WAEC certificate. Do you know when I wrote WAEC? I had to look for it. I came with everything. My birth certificates, because if I'm going to say that my parents are going to sponsor me, right, I need to show them that these are my parents. Although I didn't go with my parents as sponsorship, I used the blocked account, but still I had to come with it in case, because it's better you have everything and then they tell you to that they don't need this particular document than when you don't have everything, they tell you go and bring this document. Of course, they don't have time for that. You might be lucky enough for them to tell you, okay, we need to send so document, bring this and come back. But you might not have that kind of luck. That's one. And secondly, if they tell you to go back and come back, before you book an appointment to come back again, that's going to take a lot more time, right? So it's always good on the first attempt, come with everything, every single thing you think that they would ask you. The thing with embassies are like, you have to put yourself in their own shoes. If somebody is coming to your country, what do you think the person would have? What do you think the person has to bring to show that they wouldn't be a liability in your country? What do you think the person has to bring to show that these people are genuine? Be thinking in that way. If you're thinking in that way, it will help you easily know what it is you have to bring. So apart from the checklist they have on their website, if you're applying from a different country and if you're a citizen in a different country and you're applying from a different country, check both sides. Come with both requirements. So some things that are like static, when it has to do with school, you have to bring your enrollment letter no matter where you are from. If you're living in this country or you're coming from this country, you have to bring those ones. But there's some other like little information or little documents that are special to a particular group of people, that a particular group from a particular area or region. For instance, the WAEC document I talked about, people that are coming from Asia or people that are coming from America may not know what the WAEC document is. But people that are coming from West Africa, they will know what the WAEC is. But if you're from West Africa and you're living in a different country, you would think you might not need these things, but please come with it, because as I said in my other video, when I talked about the requirements for applying for a student visa, if you haven't watched that video, please, after watching this one, Go and check it out. I'm going to leave the link somewhere above and you can always check it out. So please, you'll find out that there's some documents that, like your school documents, right? They need to know the courses you have done, because they'll have to send these things to the you have to send all these things to the city you're going to, and the city has to approve that you're coming. It is quite important. Don't take it for granted. Okay. Reason I find that people usually, or people probably have issues with, and this would likely affect whether or not they get the visa, is filling out the visa form. Please and please don't lie on that visa form, because even if you lie, you're lying against yourself. They already have your documents. For instance, they'll ask you, have you ever been rejected from any of the EU or the Schengen countries? If you've been rejected before, you can't tell them no. Then again, if you're not sure what to fill, like if you're not sure what to write in any of these spaces, I would advise you blank. When you get to the embassy, you can ask any of the people attending to you to help you, understand what you're going to fill out there. Instead of filling something wrong and then when you get there, you start cancelling and rewriting, it will just make your paper look, somehow. So please, if you're not sure what to fill out, leave it blank. When you get there, you quietly ask questions and they'll help you fill it out. Well, apart from that, please do not lie on that paper. You shall not lie, because they will catch you. I hope my singing skills are coming up. Yes, something that is, I don't know, quite obvious is, please, when you're going for your visa appointment, do not come late. How shall I say it again? Do not come late, because they have time, you get. So if they give you an appointment for 8 o'clock, please, even if your village people are calling you, tell them to leave you alone by 8 o'clock on the day you have your visa appointment. Go there by 8 o'clock, because you will be let into the embassy by that 8. And you should also remember that you're going to the embassy, not the consulate. I don't know what it's like for people in different countries, but at least I'm sure that in China, because that was where I applied from, you'll be going to the embassy, not the consulate. Except maybe they've changed it over time, but yeah, I just came recently. So please come early. Please come early, because you'll be let into the building by that time. And if you come even, just don't come late. You might be lucky enough to get into the house, to get into the building, even if you're maybe 1 minute or 2 minutes late. But you know what it's like when you're late? Your brain is already popping. You're already ruffled. You're feeling like, what is happening? And then when you come in, you're not settled. And then you have to go for the interview. How do you think you're going to do? How do you think you're going to do for the interview? So please, always good for you to come. Better you come and wait than they will come and be waiting for you, because you know that they will not wait for you. So please, try as much as possible to be there on time, because of course you're not the only one that you're going to attend to. Once the time for 8 o'clock people pass, they will attend those from 8:30 or to those from 9 o'clock. Everything has time. Everything has scheduling systems. So don't think that they'll wait for you. They will not wait for you. Anybody that knows German knows that they pay attention to their time. You shall not waste their time. So if you think you're going to apply African time or your village people time, you are on your own. Another thing is your proof of income. I know I've said it in my previous videos. If you haven't watched any of them, please go watch my previous videos. The proof of income is quite important, okay? If you don't have the money for the blocked account, or you think like you don't want to do the blocked account, there are other ways you can show your proof of income. I also talked about this in the video where I talked about the necessary documents for applying for a German visa. If you haven't checked it out, please go and check it out. If you haven't watched the video, please go and watch it, okay? And yeah, I talked about 4 different ways you can show your proof of income. Go and watch it and listen attentively. Something else that is very important, but many people don't even talk about it a lot, is that you have to make your research about Germany. Know some things about Germany, about the city you're going to. What are the characteristics? What do the people here like to do? What are they known for? Because you may be asked this during the visa interview. My friend and I, we've made a video already on our visa interview experiences. my friend Tammy, of course. We made a video on, our experiences during the visa interview, and you should watch out for that. It's not going to come immediately after this. Immediately after this video, I think I'm going to post a video on the schools you can apply to, but then it's going to come very soon. So just be aware. Turn on the notification bell if you haven't. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that you will get this gist. So we'll tell you our different experiences. Everybody have different experiences. What they'll ask me might be entirely different from what they'll ask you, but it's always important for you to come prepared. Please be prepared. Know what you need to know about different cities, about like the city you're going into, especially about the country you're going into. What are they known for? What are their characteristics? How do they live? Because they might ask you some of this. Just know these things, please. It's sehr wichtig. Oh god, my German. I'm going to make a video very soon on speaking just German. It's going to be so hilarious. Going for the visa appointment, you're also going for the visa interview. They might not have like a separate date when you come for the interview. I don't know if they do that in some places, but for me, when I did mine, the same day I went for my visa appointment was the same day I had my interview, like almost on the spot, you get. So it's always good for you to prepare on how to do it. If you've not done an interview before, it's good for you to practice, you get, because you don't know who's going to talk to you. It's always good to practice with your friend, practice with your family, anybody that you know can support you through this whole process. I mean, it's a lot, but once you get through this, it actually goes a long way to make you like really, really relaxed. Get so practice the interview. I mean, just know that there will be possible questions, right? The possible question that you think that they might ask you, have good answers to them, So something else again is that I don't know, it depends on you, but for me, I just like to say that you should be comfortable in your own skin and you should be dressed like a student, like someone that wants to go to school, that is serious about going to school. I don't know how that applies to you, but I mean, I'm sure you get the point, because if somebody on the other end is looking at you, you're coming for an interview and you're dressed in a very weird way, it might not affect your visa interview. Like, it might not affect whether or not you get your visa, right? But impression. So please make sure you're very comfortable. Don't wear something like, wear 6-inch heels because you're coming for an interview. Who will send you? I know that at this point you feel a little bit nervous. You're like, okay, what's going to happen? What's not going to happen? Will they give me the visa? Do I make a good impression? Blah blah blah. But please try to be confident. Trying to be confident doesn't necessarily mean that you don't have your fears, and just know that God has your back. If you're a Christian, I'm sure you get what I mean. Just know that God has your back, because He wouldn't bring you this far to leave you hanging. And even if you don't make it, He's probably trying to teach you something. Just try to get the message out of it, and you can always reapply. I'm just saying this so that you feel encouraged, okay? Don't make you feel like, oh, you're so scared, and like when you went for the interview, you didn't do so well, and then probably you felt like they wouldn't give you you don't know until you get the paper. Just know that if God has you, you don't have anything to worry about. And even if you make all these super great preparations and you get there, if God does not have your back, it shall not work. You know what I mean? So yeah, so just try as much as possible to take God with you. I mean, God is everywhere, right? But you need to invite Him to be with you. These are some of my tips on how not to get rejected when you apply for your German student visa. I hope you find them really helpful. I hope they ministered onto you. Yeah, I hope. I don't know, I'm laughing a lot in this video, but yeah, I hope you find them really, really helpful, and I hope you have learned one or two things from this. If you really like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And please share, because you don't know, somebody else might be in need of this kind of information, and you giving this to them might just go a long way. And please, again, if you might want to be having, info tips on, the German life and things that are happening here from my own perspective as a Black African girl, please consider subscribing to my channel. Right now I'm doing like back-to-back videos on how to come to Germany, everything Germany related. I also have like some other videos on things on normal things, things that are not really related to Germans and schooling and everything, like just normal videos. So you can always check them out. And yeah, if you like this channel, you can also consider subscribing and joining the family. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video. So ciao ciao, bye bye.